Okay, so we're back for the remainder of this video. We've already done our flaps in Illustrator. We've added an image, we've embedded our image, we've had a title, spine, and author name. So you're gonna add some text as well under the author's name, just about the author. You know, you can take up as much room as you need here. So here is some text about the author. Okay, you want to make that smaller, you know, maybe more like 12-point text. Here, you'll fill this up. I'm just gonna paste a few lines in there. You have to have a price on there, so you could. I'm gonna copy some of this text. You know, the price doesn't have to be here. It could be. You can choose wherever you want to put it. $39.95. Okay, don't put it too close to the edge. So you want a little bit of space away from the edge. There. And then you'll find a place also for the attribution. So wherever your photo is, some people put it somewhere at the bottom here. You know, photo, courtesy, you know, Bob Smith. Whoever that is. Okay, you can make that a little off the edge as well. Okay, if you want to line things up, you can select all the elements like this and use the, you have to align the align tool, but you have to change the align from artboard to selection. That way everything that's touching each other, everything that's selected is aligned to the left. If you did artboard, it will go all the way to the end of the artboard, all the way to the left. Okay. So I need some text to the back, so I'm going to copy this. So you see how I'm just copying and pasting already existing text boxes, so I don't have to go and draw them again and type them over with the same font and same lettering and everything. I've already typed it, so all I have to do is just copy and paste it and enlarge the box however I want, and change the text in the background. So that's going to save you a lot of time. Same thing with if you have some other text that's going to go on here, maybe about the company, so I can copy and paste that. Oops, I can use this one, or use a little red dot right there. I want to make these white, and select both, make them white. Whatever color you use, doesn't really matter. Okay, so I also need a barcode. So this one's going to be a little tricky. So when you bring the barcode in, you can get a barcode from Google, because we're not actually using it in our file, but we're going to trace over it. So I'm going to get a barcode. I'm going to create a new layer and call it barcode. And I'm going to place an image of a barcode that I found on Google. So this one you're going to trace over. Give you some practice in tracing. So I'm going to bring that barcode in right there. Now I want you to draw this, even though you can bring it in and use it as an image. I would rather you draw it, just so you can get some practice. So wherever you want the barcode to be, it's probably down here somewhere. So that layer, you want to lock that and create a new layer, or you can move the barcode layer under the other layer. So the barcode is locked. So on layer 2, where everything is, right? Everything is on layer 2 right now. And then you just take your rectangle tools and you just draw your barcode. So literally, you're just drawing. You can leave it in white so you can see what it looks like, and then you can change it to black afterwards. Most of these lines are the same. They're just 3 different, in this case, 3 different widths. So you can hold on the Option key and drag, Shift drag, hold on the Option key, Shift drag. So I'm literally just copying and pasting the same line, Shift drag, all the way over, Shift drag with the Option key. That way you don't have to keep on drawing the same rectangle over and over. So these are ways of working faster and being able to complete something that looks complicated but it's really not. Shift drag. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just doing the skinny line first. Okay. And I'll do the same thing for the bigger line. I'm actually going to copy, I missed one. I'm actually going to copy the same line for the big one and just enlarge it by holding down the end anchors. And I'm going to copy this one and then make this one bigger. So using copy and paste effectively, you can take something like this that's not complicated and just make your life a lot easier than just trying to draw every one of those rectangles. I mean, you could just draw every rectangle, but why would you, right? Okay, so I'm not going to do the entire thing. You can put the numbers in at the bottom as well. So you have your background. So what else do we need here? So we also need, we need to bring a logo in as an EPS. Now, what you want to be able to do is get your logo, so this is the logo I designed for a client. You want to get your logo and bring it into the other file. So first thing you want to do is open up your logo in Illustrator. Then I want you to go to File, Save As. So save your logo and choose the pull-down menu as Illustrator EPS. So that's going to be an encapsulated postscript. So you want to bring this logo into your book jacket as an EPS. So you're going to save that. Whatever comes up as, if you're using CS5, EPS, CS6, whatever, save it as an EPS. Okay, that's going to finish. Then you're going to come over back to your book jacket. I realized I saved my book jacket as boot jacket, but that's fine. So then you want to go to File, make sure you're on the right layer, it's not locked. File, then Place, and then you want to bring that EPS file in. Okay, EPS is going to be a encapsulated postscript, so it's going to come in here. Do the same thing that you would have done for the other image, which is embed the image. I'm going to make it smaller first before I embed it. It's easier to drag it when it's not embedded. So I'm going to make that logo a lot smaller. Here, like so. And I'm going to just go embed. So notice when you embed it, right, it kind of gives you those points. It didn't really scale very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale it here. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and that logo I just placed had too many outlines on it, which created a very weird okay, so I have a logo here. Oh, wait a second. I have to resave this. So I have a logo with too many outlines. It's going to be sort of a weird placement when you place it and embed it. Okay, so I'm going to scale that. I can scale a couple of different ways. You can use the scale tool, or you can just use your selection tool to reduce that image and make it a little bit smaller. Okay, and then I'm going to have a logo, and I'm going to embed it the same way. So notice when you embed it, you kind of have these points on some of them. But now the image is not linked anymore. It's actually inside of the program. Okay, so I have my logo, my barcode, I have my text all over the place. I have my spine, my page price image. So the other thing you want to do, so when you've laid everything out, think if this will have all the elements that you need. When you're ready to lay everything out, you have to add a bleed. So notice how this little red line is on here, and that appeared because we added a bleed on your document setup. Now if you didn't put the bleed at the beginning, you can still put it after. So you can open up your document setup and you can add your .125 bleed right here. Okay, and say okay. Now what you have to do is you have to select, you have to go to your last layer where you have all the panels, and you have to pull the boxes all the way to the right line, to the red line. If you have an image that's here, you got to pull the image as well. So I'm going to go and I'm going to, so this, the reason why you have to do this is because when a printer prints the image, it'll cut the paper on the red line. It'll cut on the black line, and the red line is a little extra, just in case the paper moves around and printing, which does happen. So newspapers have to do this, magazines have to do this, book jackets, flyers. So if you're going to do a job that's going to get printed commercially, you want to be able to add a bleed, and that bleed is a little extra space. So you have to do this for the entire, all your background, whatever is going towards the edge of a page must have a bleed. So if this image was actually, this big, I shouldn't do it like that. If you're going to enlarge the image, you have to actually use the direct selection tool like this to enlarge the box. The image is not even enlarged. But let's say my image was like touching the edge like this. I would have to go ahead and make sure that the box goes all the way to the edge. Not the middle. I'm not concerned about this, but I'm concerned about that. But I'll probably do the same thing here just so it looks better. Just so it's centered. So if your image is touching the edge, you can go really close up and you can see right here is going to get cut by the printer, right? You won't see this, but just in case it moves, you get a little bit extra. Okay, so that's all the elements that you have to have on a book jacket. I'm going to save that. I'm going to change the name now because I spelled it wrong. Okay. So then once you got all the elements down, you want to create a few different things, which is you need to have a high-res PDF, a PNG, and your package file. So the next video I'll show you how to take this image, your final piece, and create those final 3 deliverables, which I believe is all you have to do to complete this project. I'll be back.